Can you tell that it didn't work? They're back. They're still there. All right. It's okay. I have a plan. I'll tell you about it in three, two, one. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday, August 28th, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup. Oh, it came out good this morning. Good. I want it. I deserve some good coffee after the last few nights' sleep. Man. Oh, okay. Just wait. Calling an audible. Hold on. Hold on. Trust me, it'll be worth it. And all right, let's see if I can get this open. Maybe she won't run away. Hi. There we go. Oh, there it goes. Good morning, John. Welcome to my backyard, everybody. And she's gone. That was a nice surprise. That is only the second time I have seen a deer in my backyard this summer. I used to see them all the time, and I've seen her before. I think it's her. And didn't really get a good enough view to see if there was a rack. I think it's ironic that that's how we refer to the horns on deer, really any animal, but then we also so I laid down about 10 o'clock, and within 5 minutes I could hear the chewing and the scampering, and I slept on the couch until 3:45. The cat was bugging me. And so I went back. So I went to bed. Went back to bed. And probably woke up a few times, but the bed at least is more comfortable. So today's plan. I've got some other things I got to work around, but I'm going to run to the hardware store early this morning. Grab every kind of bait, poison they have that is appropriate, and throw them all in my attic. And kill everything up there. Hopefully. I hate doing it. I really do. But I need to sleep. I'm going to take a nap later, if possible. Working on some... This is a fun story. Working on some client work. So, way back, like 2001 back, maybe two, I was working at Staples and met this guy who needed some computer stuff done. He had a small company. It was just him. He was never going to have employees. And I started doing some computer work for him. And over the years, his company grew, my company grew, did more and more things for him. I sold my company, he sold his. And I don't remember who reached out to whom a year ago. And we sat down at a wine bar and just started talking about what had happened in the last 5 years. And both of us were starting over. I had gone back into consulting to raise money for Whistlekick. The company he sold his business to didn't meet their obligations, so the company reverted back to him. So here we are, and I am getting his new laptop set up with his information from his old laptop. Something I've done for him half a dozen times over the last 20 years. And it's really funny how things come full circle. You know, we're on this path, and most of the time we see it as linear. But there are so many repetitions. You watch First Cup, that's a repetition. You've probably watched it before. How many similarities, how many things are formatted with this show and the way you engage with it? How about the rest of your life? So while we do have a path, there are a lot of things that come off of it that are circular. The cat's at the door looking to see if the deer will come back. A couple summers ago, there was a cat on the front porch once, and every night for the rest of the summer, she waited for that cat to come back at that time. Even though she hissed at it. She wanted to be friends. So I enjoy doing this work, in part because it's very simple, because I've done it for so long. I can do it with my eyes half closed, which is good because they're going to be half closed today. And I like him. He's a bit of a father figure, 20 years older. No, more than that. When was he born? 52. So he's 68. Yeah. Good man. Always treated me fairly. What else is going on today? That's it. Get this work done, get some other work done, take a nap. Hardware store. Maybe go for a walk. Because as tired as I am, going to the gym is silly. It's not a good use of resources. Resources being my body and energy. If I can sleep well, I'll go tomorrow morning. Before I start my day. And it's the weekend. That's right. What am I doing this weekend? It's time to start harvesting things. Might have to start harvesting some hazelnuts. I got arugula seed to get out. Peas. The peas that I let go to seed. Grapes are starting to ripen. I gotta deal with all those. And I think it's tomorrow's supposed to rain. So I'll do my chores, my indoor stuff, go to the grocery store, do all that, and then Sunday I'll be outside. All right. I think that's it for me. What's going on with you? What's happening with you people? You know, I like when those of you watching live chime in. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say something. Don't be afraid to respond. I know there's a delay. That's one of the downsides to doing this live thing, is that there is a delay, but it's all right. I'll still read it. I'll still acknowledge it. I'll still get on while I talk. Coffee. All right. And it being Friday, we have jokes. We have jokes from Frank, because Frank keeps us in jokes. The jokes for Fun Day Friday. Change is inevitable, except from a vending machine. The future, the present, and the past walk into a bar. Things got a little tense. A recent study has found that women who carry a little extra weight live longer than the men who mention it. If a parsley farmer gets sued, can they garnish his wages? Good ones. Good ones. If I. Oh, here's something else going on. I reached out yesterday to the man who helped me put together the martial artist handbook. I'm fine with keeping one good book idea in the back burner, but I had another one come up the other day, and it's. I don't care. You can wait. I'm doing a TV show, sort of. I'm live on the air. You can lay down or get your own food. So I reached out to him again and said, hey, what's going on? I'd love your help putting together another book. I know you're busy, but part-time. And he wrote back, timing of this is perfect. My wife is pregnant with twins. She's high risk. She's on bed rest, and I could use some extra money. Boom. He was awesome to work with. I've talked a little bit about the one that we'll start with. It's the what I'm calling 12 Months to Health. 12 simple, inexpensive, cheap. That's the same as inexpensive. Simple, inexpensive things to do to dramatically improve your health. For example, start your day with a big glass of water. And then there will be 30 pages, different thing each day, different fact or research or benefit of water to help you reinforce why water is important. So the idea is that you'd get up, you'd read, maybe you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to drink water today. Oh, well, water makes my skin better. All right, I'll drink this water. And after 30 days, it should be a habit. And so come up with 12 of those, 30 sporting pieces, and I think it'd be a pretty compelling book. I think all too often when we think about health, we go for this really big stuff when most of us aren't doing, or I should say this complicated stuff, when most of us aren't doing the simple, cheap, even free stuff. Get outside. Be outside more. We all need more vitamin D. Right, you? Cats don't really get vitamin D because they're inside. It's probably, I've speculated what this show would be like if I had someone running it for me, if I was just the overpaid talent. I would probably be drinking too much coffee. I would just drink coffee and then go here, and then I'd have more coffee. Or maybe I'd be doing shots of espresso, and I would vibrate by the end of the show. So I don't know when that book will be out, but he seems game, so we just got to figure out some of the details. He who would accomplish little must sacrifice little. He who would accomplish much must sacrifice much. James Allen. Let's think about that in the context of training. If you train a couple days a week, it's pretty easy to fit the rest of your life around that. What if you train 5 days a week? What if you train for competition? What if you do all that? What if you own a school? There's a lot of sacrifice for the martial arts and for training. I know what that's like. I gave up a lot for training, specifically for training for competition in my teen years. Sports teams, other after-school stuff, staying up late to do homework. It wasn't easy. It was worthwhile. Something's making weird noises. Could be all in my head. Fun fact, when I'm really tired, I hallucinate cats. That has not happened yet. No. But I'll just see things out of the corner of my eye, some flash or whatever, and to me it looks like a cat. That's how I know I'm really tired. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others. And if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. Dalai Lama. The older I get, the more I realize the things that are important to me really line up with at least my understanding of Buddhism. I'm not a Buddhist. I don't consider myself a Buddhist, but the philosophies as I understand them, the readings, the teachings of the Dalai Lama, they're all about being a good person. And I think most religion is that when you drill right down to it. It's a code of ethics. It's a way to live, to treat other people. If you ever see me do that, there's a shadow and a spot on the wall where somebody pushed too hard when they were mudding and taping the ceiling, and it looks like a bug out of my periphery. So that's why I look. I'm like, is that a bug? It's not a bug. I know it's not a bug even before I look. But if there's a bug on the ceiling, you want to know about it. And this Dalai Lama quote really, I think, is perfect, because it's one of my core philosophies. We can't all do everything, so do a little bit more than your share. Right? And if you can't, just don't make it worse. Your share is not making it worse. Think about it in terms of trash. I could walk up and down my road probably 3 times a week, pick up new trash. Blows out of the back of people's pickups, people drop it, throw it, comes out of the trash bins when the trash company comes to pick up. It's not necessarily malicious. If that was something that I did, I would go nuts, right? Constantly walking the road, picking up trash, it would get really stressful. So what's the base level? Don't throw trash out. Okay, easy. What's a little bit more than that? Pick up some of it sometimes. I do that. I went for a walk last week, and there was a chip bag on my neighbor's lawn, so I picked it up, threw it in the trash. No biggie. I want the deer to come back. What about in the way we treat people? I think lead from how what we say and do makes them feel. If you're teaching a class, you're providing knowledge, you're helping guide your students, you're hopefully making them feel good, happy. Sometimes you're not going to be as effective as others. So what's the 0 point? What's the base level? Helping them get, making sure they don't regress, making sure they don't have a bad class, making sure that they want to come back the next class, making sure they're safe. Some days that's the bar. And as long as other days you do a little bit more than that, you're doing your share. And I think you can apply this to everything in life. Am I constantly pushing this show into new ground? No. This week has been a rough week. It's exhausted. I want to go sleep for like 2 days. What's the base level? I show up. I do what I can. I try to make it entertaining, try to make it engaging. I rig my coffee. And you were all really patient with me this week, and I appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure that if what I put up there in the attic doesn't work, I might be up there with an air rifle tonight, which is not a good thing, because my air rifle is way too powerful. It's got this very large air chamber, and it fires 177s, and it could easily take down a squirrel. Put in the right place, it could take something bigger down. I shot it at a hornet's nest early in the summer because it was 40 feet off the ground. Couldn't reach it. And I don't know about you, but getting on a ladder and spraying a hornet's nest doesn't seem like a good idea. So I shot it. And it's far too high velocity. It didn't do any damage to the nest, just went straight through it. And also seemed to go through the roof, the metal roof. Yikes. Judo helps us to understand that worry is a waste of energy. Jigoro Kano. Worry is a waste of energy. It is. It doesn't stop most of us. I worry. I worry about things. I have anxiety. I think it helps us identify what's important. It doesn't mean we don't work on it, like anything else. Just because it's never going to be gone doesn't mean we don't address it. Just because your martial arts will never be perfect doesn't mean you don't try. Just because we're fallible as human beings doesn't mean we don't try to progress and be the best version of ourselves we can be. Gabe's suggesting that I could use my trap in the attic if I put plywood between the rafters. I could. The access to my attic is very awkward. I have to stand on a step ladder. I have to reach up and through, and it's. I'm pretty sure, based on the noises, that these are probably field mice, and my trap is bigger. Could I buy more traps? Yes. But I'm not going to. Trying to extract a trap through a hole while there's a critter inside, and it's this close to my face, and I'm standing on a ladder. It's just not a good combination. It's not. Could I do it? Yes. If I had something bigger up there, like let's say, actually, to be honest, if I had like a raccoon up there or something, I would call a professional. But let's say I couldn't. Would I make do? Absolutely. I would find a way. I do not value the life of a couple field mice that highly. If they're outside, that's great. I'm not going to do harm to them. I'm not going to try to hurt them. I'm not going to. Actually, I'll go out of my way to protect them when they're outside. Right? I thought she had something cornered last night, which she hasn't done in a while, and I was like, oh great, they got in the house. It was an earwig. It was a bug. Right, guys? There's a line from a song that has always stuck with me that this quote reminds me of: never hate, that's just wasted energy. It's true. We have a finite amount of energy. Where do you want to allocate it? Do you want to put it to hate and worry and anxiety and panic and fear? Or do you want to put it to growth and love and joy? It's up to you. Unfortunately, most people put, I think, far too much of their energy into the negative stuff. That's what they get back. If you understand physics, and if you believe that you can feel the energy from other people, if you believe that that's something that comes off of them, you can make a scientific case for the fact that the kind of energy you put out is a direct correlation to what comes back to you in life. If I was more coherent and had a whiteboard, I could do that. And our final quote for the day, wrong button. We must not learn to try harder. The key is to learn how not to try in the first place. Chris Matakas. I think I know where this is going. So when we try, to try suggests that we didn't succeed. Okay, to try harder is to invest more energy. And I think for most things, it's not usually an issue of more effort, more energy, more time. It's usually an issue of the right energy, the right time, the right effort, understanding, angles, timing, etc. Applies to martial arts as well as anything else, I think. We've all sparred with people who tried harder. Ooh, slow down, buddy. What usually happens to that person? They walk into a sidekick. Is the way I spar. What happens when someone tries harder doing their forms? They look ugly. What about, what else? What's another example? You ever see somebody who tries harder doing basics and they're breathing really, their face gets all scrunched up? When I think about the most physically beautiful expression of martial arts, it's elegant. What is elegant to me? Elegant to me means complete but simple. An elegant meal is a simple meal. It doesn't have a lot of ingredients, but the ones that are in there are prepared well and balanced and quality and all that, right? That's an elegant meal. Understated. I appreciate elegant martial arts. Doesn't have to be flashy, dramatic. People look for dramatic. But then they get older and they realize that elegant requires more time, more care, more knowledge and skill. And I think that's the more valuable pursuit. Not that I dislike flashy. I was watching somebody on Instagram. Was it Instagram? Somebody that I follow, somebody who has done some movies. And watching some of the kick combos they were doing, you know, I can do those. 41 years old, I can kick like that. And you know the next thought in my mind? Give me a little bit of time, I can kick better than that. Still have it. Doesn't come out very often, but it's still there. I miss kicking. There's a heavy bag at the gym, at the workout gym that I go to. And I asked last time I was there, I said, okay, you confident that's secure up there? And they know that I train. And they went, oh, yes. There's a husband and wife, and they were consulting with each other, and they said, yeah. So I got something I can kick. Because while I've got a stand-up bag over here, you can only kick that thing so hard. It'll either break or fall over, depending on how much sand or water you've got on the bottom. All right. We've got our quotes. We've got our plan. The weekend's here. I hope you have a great Friday. Remember, there's stuff you want me to respond to on Monday, and I hope there is, and it can be stuff you think of today or Sunday or, heck, really early Monday. Drop it in the comments below today's episode. I'll do that. And if you're new to the show, here's what I want you to do. I want you to subscribe, because we do this show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. And I want you to get the notification that we're going live. You could also catch it later in audio form. You can watch it anytime. Totally cool. That's fine. I appreciate those of you who watch. I really appreciate those of you who watch live. If you've never caught us live, it's worth waking up for once in a while. Okay? Other things. Check out the Patreon. If you're not a Patreon supporter, consider being one, or consider buying something at whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15 to save 15%. And I hope you have a good weekend. We talked about some good stuff today, and I think there's some stuff in there that bears reflection. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to finish your first cup of coffee and think about where the day and the week will take you. Weekend will take you. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you back here Monday. Peace.